Welcome to Swing Trader Galore, where we analyze stocks for potential setups for swing trades. And today we're looking at Brickell Biotech Incorporated. It trades under the ticker BBI on NASDAQ, currently sitting at $1.08. And this is one of those stocks that's getting a lot of attention, a lot of interest right now. And we are looking at the 4-hour, 6-month chart. Remember, for swing traders, we are not so much interested in the 5, 15, or 1-minute candle charts. I like to look at the 4-hour candle charts, and oftentimes I drop down and look at the hour charts because I'm trying to figure out what the stock is going to do over the course of several days, maybe as few as 1 or 2 days, but oftentimes maybe as many as a week or two. And I think the 4-hour chart gives us a nice picture of this stock, and you can really see where the excitement is, because right now the stock is trading right around this yellow line. This is an important line for support and resistance. We have on the 6-month chart somewhat of an anomaly here, that for several days we had some huge spikes as high as $3.68. But back in May, the stock was trading right around this line. This was its support line, right? And then when the stock back here in June, the support collapsed and the stock fell, and it went all the way down. And you can see right here, back here in July, it tested the 70-cent mark, and then it tried to come back over the dollar mark, which makes sense because it's a NASDAQ stock and it needs to trade over $1 to stay in compliance, and then it falls back down, comes close to this 70-cent mark, back up to $1, back down, back up. So for this period of time, from July into September, this stock was sort of bouncing between this support and resistance, up to $1, down to 70, up to $1, down to 70, and then in mid-September, the support line of 70 cents collapses, and we see that it falls and establishes a new support at 46 cents. This is a low for the 6-month, a low for the year, a low for the 3-year, and so 46 cents looks like the low for BBI, and that is confirmed as we climb back, and look where we climb to. No surprise, climb back to 70 cents, and this, what was once the support line, becomes the resistance line. And that becomes really the setup that makes BBI really interesting, because right here, back in late December, we started to see that it got off that resistance line. And when we see what is a resistance line become a support line, we often see it climb back to the old support resistance, which is exactly what it did, confirming that BBI is in this uptrend, right? And we can see from the low to where we are today, we are in an uptrend, and now we're trading back at this old support resistance line. And the question is, what happens now? Should I buy now? Well, the exciting thing about BBI is that if we get over this support and resistance line, there is this huge gap. We don't have a lot of other points to look at to see where the next support and resistance would be. We have this gap at $1.70, and even if we back up even to a year, you can see what I'm talking about. When you get over $1, there's really not much to say. We have support and resistance right here around $1.60, and then a huge gap at $2.60, and then this gap to $4. And this even plays out over the 3-week chart. Look at this. I mean, we really, over 3 years, if we go back, everything is above a $4 once we get over this $3.98, and we go back up to the 3-year high of $13.44. Now, I'm not saying it's going to trade at $13.44, but what we're saying is that between this $1.10 resistance, we have a huge gap back up to $4, and for most of this time period, most of this 3-year time period, BBI was trading over $4. So that's why people are really excited, because if we can cross this $1.10 support line, right, which it's tried to do, this is a week, this green candle here is a week of trading, right? And if we switch down to the hour chart, you can start to see that over this week, there's been this attempt to get over the dollar line, and then it comes back down. And this is what swing traders do. They look at these and they say, well, here we're climbing and we cross this $1.10 threshold. We continue to cross, but then in this hour, it came back down, and then it went back up, and then it came back down, and then it tested that line, bounced back, but then it fell. And now, as you can see, how many times this stock is sort of testing this $1.10 line, and then it will come back down and it will try to get back over $1. Every time it falls under $1, it tries to get back over. Now, if they can trade, right, because it's crossed under $1 several times, what BBI needs is it needs 10 days of trading over $1. And so if we trade over $1 for 10 days in a row, then what we're likely to see is a big spike to try to fill this gap from $1.10 all the way up to $4. And that's why people are watching this stock so closely. That's why people are trying to trade it in a way. The buyers are trying to buy the stock so that it stays above $1, and sellers are obviously trying to get the stock up so they can make a profit, and buyers are trying to buy it where they can get in as cheaply as possible and then get it to run up. So we have a very interesting, all this congestion right here from a swing trader's point of view. This is all just a conversation between buyers and sellers trying to figure out what the price for this stock is supposed to be, right? And if it does get above that $1 and it can hold, and this resistance can become support, there's a potential for this to climb up to the $1.70 range, or maybe up as high as $2.60. So a potential for a huge swing here as we look at BBI, Brickell Biotech Incorporated. Well, that's our analysis. Hit the like button, leave a comment. If you have another stock you'd like us to analyze, please let us know on our YouTube page or send us an email at swingtradergalore@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Happy trading.